transition to another league matter, and that is the buyout market, something that all of us discussed leading into the trade deadline, thinking that it was going to be really, really active. Now, there have been some big-time buyouts and big-time signings since then, but not maybe to the level we initially thought. Here's some of the latest. We're learning that Corey Brewer, according to reports, after the buyout is completed and he clears waivers with the Lakers, will likely go to Oklahoma City. So let's address that, Sekou, with Corey Brewer coming off the bench and adding a versatile piece for Billy Donovan.
Well, the first thing you got to look at is the history that Corey Brewer has with Billy Donovan. Played for him at Florida, won a couple championships. He's a veteran player in this league that Billy Donovan is very familiar with. The role that he would play on that team coming off the bench has kind of been created for him by the injury to Andre Robertson. So that now you have kind of this perfect space, if you're Billy Donovan, to go find a player who you know exactly what he'll bring and what he can do into a position where you're going to need him. If the Thunder are going to try and go deep into the playoffs and make some noise at all in the playoffs, they need some help. They need another veteran wing, and Corey Brewer becomes available. It works out great.
And right before the deadline, we talked about the fact that OKC, even with a healthy Robertson, needed another wing. Mm-hmm. Billy didn't have another piece that he trusted on that bench. He was really struggling. They were trying to develop Terrence Ferguson along those lines. They weren't getting what they were hoping to get out of Abrinas. And I think Billy and his staff were having a hard time trusting enough of their wings. So then you compound that issue with the Robertson injury. I really hope that the Brewer fit helps them a great deal, because that is a team with those three main cogs. And I'm going to say Steven Adams is one of those three main cogs. When you look at those guys, you really hope that they end up in a position to challenge Houston or Golden State, because in a 7-game series, if the right pieces get hot, they can be so physical defensively that you hope they get in a position to be there. Corey Brewer's not a floor spacing shooter, so I worry that he's not a great fit for Russ or Melo. But I do think his ability to get out on the wing, run a little bit, be a guy that Billy can trust, it gives them some other options.
And just some clarity real quick on what is a very confusing time for all of us to understand how all this works. You can sign a player to be eligible for the playoffs up until the last day of the regular season. The issue here, though, Griff, is that players who are going to be bought out need to be bought out by tomorrow night.
They do. They need to be waived on or before tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. The request for waivers needs to be put in at that point. Right. They don't have to clear waivers. The request just has to be put in at that point.
Might see some more movement. The movement that starts here is Sekou Smith going home.